So long we are catching up again for today, and let me introduce myself to you. I'm Sangeeta Verma, and I've done my MBA with banking and finance. In the slide, you can see my work experience as a account in charge for 2 years, and for 2 years as bank remittance head. For 3 years, you can see as a principal financial cooperators. Then for 2 years, again I was in head of the Department of Management field. 4 years I was associated with export and import company as an operation manager, and currently working with 6 year experience of career organization as a DCM. And along with that, I'm working as a freelancer tutor for Learnovate. So let's start today's topic. And today's topic is a very good HR topic, which is job analysis, which holds the job descriptions and job specification along with job evaluation tool. So we're going to understand what is all this. Can you hear my voice? Am I audible to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, chalo. Now let's move to the slides of today's session. So today's session objective is to understand the concept, objectives, and significance of job analysis, how the job analysis process are done, what are the techniques, like techniques of job analysis means methods of collecting data and collecting informations, creating a database of employees itself and the work itself. Then we'll see what is job description, which is also known as position description, under which we'll see little concepts of uses, contents, and guidelines, and how it is difference with job analysis. Then we'll move to the job specification, that is specification. Here also we'll understand meaning and the difference between the job description and job specification. Then we will move to the role analysis. Role analysis is also known as job analysis, but we say what sort of role an employee is playing in the organization. Then we'll come to the conclusion and we'll have a question and answer section. So everyone get up, and now I'm going to the next slide and we'll see what are its. Okay, job analysis, concepts and significance and objectives will move on parallelly to the slides. So, what do you understand by job analysis? It is nothing, it is just a formal and detailed study of jobs. Whatever a employee is doing the work in an organization, what sort of job is being performed by an employee in the organization, in any industries, in any sector, that is a formal and detailed study. So, when it is said, the job analysis has been defined as the process of observing and studying the task, which it comprises the job and methods and equipments used to perform that job. So it is completely a process collecting and analyzing the data relating to a job. Data relating to job means what are the tasks, what are the responsibilities, what are the duties, what are the knowledge, skills, and abilities. All that gets combined with it. And in this diagram, in the first picture, you can see the job analysis has been segregated into concepts. How a person analyzes the job, how HR analyzes the job. It is with the job description and job specification. In the job description, mostly they see what is the title of the job, what is the position, what is the location, what duty a person is going to get it, how reporting sections will be done, what are the machines that are used. Machines, it might be like you can see it's combined with the IT and all. How is the workplace environment? All that comes with the descriptions one, and in specification once it comes as what is the education to the employee which whom we are hiring, what's the experience of that employee, what are the skills, and what sort of responsibilities are we going to give them, and are they able to perform their responsibilities, or they require certain trainings in that one. And then comes the personal and emotional characteristics. So all this, when these two gets combined, we are completely analyzing the job. And when we analyze the job, we see so many things. It's just not hold it up to this. We even see what's the work status, what is physical association, social association, economic association, security association. So when you go with the work status, what we see in that, we see what's the description of the job, what sort of job the person is going to do, how is the workstation where he or she is working, what's the title we'll give to that job, and then peer relation with an employee's manual. Peer relations means relation with the colleagues and relation with the seniors, relation with the other departments, how that person is. Now, physically, we see how are different physical, it comes totally with the organizational infrastructure in which we see the working environment, restroom, lunchroom, facilities, safeties, devices, modern equipments, and even we see the social ones. That is, whether there are carpool facility, how are office parties being done, how is company's newspaper being published, what is the status of the company in the newspaper, then what sort of vacation trips they organize, and what about recreational activities. All this along with combines with economic factor. Economic factor is just not seen by the organization, even employees see the economic factors, that is salaries, pensions, paid vacations, hospitals and insurance facilities, how is the protection facility, whether the company is sharing its profit sharing with the employees or a certain department or not. That's also been seen. What is the credit? How is the security? Security might be based on two things. Okay, that's a employee retention security, and another is an organizational retention security. So when an HR, when an HR has to do the analysis of the job, the basic concepts concern is you analyze the job with the two concepts, that is job description and job specification. When you see the description, you see the tasks, responsibilities, and duties. And when you see the specification one, you see whether the person is knowledgeable or not, how skilled he or she is, what is the ability, right? So what happens with this when your analysis is very clear, concise, and up to this reachable one, what happens, an HR is good at planning different facilities and different concepts for the human resources of that organization. Recruitment is possible with that, selection you do according to that, then you provide certain trainings and developments. Performance appraisal is also based on job analysis concepts, and you see the compensations and benefits, safety and health, employees and labor retentions, legal conditions, and job analysis for teams. Even it's just not for the particular one, okay? It's even for the team also the analysis is done. So the basic significance, if you see for the job analysis, you are able to organize the design of your organization. You are able to do the different plannings for that might be promotion, demotion, transfer, or anything is with the HR plannings. Then you come with the recruitment and selection. What's you see the everything, you see the responsibilities, duties, and everything combines with that. So this concept is totally in the beneficial part of organization and an employee. It's just that organization and employee has to maintain their level of thinking and mutual thinking level to the equalizations. So this slide is like understandable to everyone. Is there anything which you want to ask in this slide? I guess all of you are clear. Can I go to the next slide?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. So now let's figure out why it is important, why people keep on saying, as I said earlier also, that job analysis is so important to HR manager. A manager always have to keep the analysis process of jobs regarding for the employees and organization both, because that are the building blocks for HRM functions. And almost every HRM program requires some type of information which you do with the job analysis, and you make create your own database. And along with that, what happens, your work redesigning is possible, different plannings is possible, selection is possible, training is possible, career planning for the organization along with the individual employees is also possible with that. And even you know how to evaluate, whether that is 3 months evaluation, 6 months evaluation, or it's a yearly evaluation. And when you go with the steps, you first, what you do, you select jobs for analysis. What job you are you going to plan? Are you going to analyze the marketing team? Are you going to analyze the promotional team? Are you going to analyze the manufacturing team? Are you going to analyze the technical team? What is it? And determine what information to collect. Be very clear and precise with what information you want, right? And determine how to collect the information. You want to collect the information with face-to-face interaction, via interviews, by group discussions or conferences. What is that? And then who is going to collect the information on your behalf, whether the manager himself or the assistants, right? And write the process, the information you get in a very flowchart wise. Then you write the job description and everything. Now if you see the analysis concepts, it is done in two based. One is completely task based, what it is competency based. Task based is like a distinct identification. You give a task to them, and then you analyze whether that task is done in time allotted, overtime is taken, or it was very quick and very precise or not, or the duty which you are given is fully with the responsibility or not, or the responsibility is handed over to some other person. You even see the responsibilities, how they are fulfilling obligations of taking the chargeship of the job. And when it comes with the competency, you see how an individual is capable of to linked to enhance the performance, whether in individual or team, that is technical or behavioral, both combines with that. And you even do it with the help of matrix system, like what the workers does and how, if you see what the workers does, it comes with the duties, thanks and tasks and responsibilities. And when you see how the workers are doing it, it comes with the method, tool and techniques. A person is very different. An individual has different perspective to do the task, to complete the task. Two people might have two different techniques and two different methods they might have, but you see the competency, how which one is to the time, to very precise and helpful in future for the organization. Then why the workers does it, why it is doing it, because the person who is doing is thinking it's just a work and finish it off, or the person is taking it that yes, in the future we need to have a productive information with it, productive utility for it, and even seeing as a career planning to it. Then you see workers' qualification, skill, knowledge, right? Physical demands and all. It's very clear, and HR manager is always clear that what sort of job is given to what sort of person, like who is having abilities along with the academic credentials, experiences. It's never that a person who doesn't know anything about technology and a person is dead. No, what an HR does, it slowly grooms to the person and then fills it to that particular job. So is this one clear to you, like importance, types, steps and matrix system? All these are clear to everyone? Can I move to the next slide, guys?
Um,
Is till now any, if anything, if you are not able to vocal about it, you can ask in the chat if there is. Okay, guys? Another slide is visible or not to everyone?
Visible, ma'am.
Okay, now I'm going to the next slide. Let's see how the process of job analysis is done. If you go with the process of job analysis, there are 8 steps which an HR manager, HR assistants, the organization follows, right? what is organizational analysis? In If you see in organizational analysis, this is the first overall view of various jobs in organization. This is obtained. It means you create the information or the background information in the form of organizational chart, class specifications, flow charts you create, and then you start to collect the data. Then you move to the organizing job analysis program. What sort of programs? It might be maintenance, integration, it might be procurement, development, compensations. So you start organizing that. So the you see how a person's different aspect is fulfilled while you are deciding the use of using the information to analyze with the help of different programs. Then you go to the determining the use of analysis information. How is it? Determining like what determining? You are just not throwing any random duty to it. You are completely using the information to generate the needs, the areas, like basic of the needs, priorities, constraints, and you collect all those informations and you analyze one individual employee, team employee, or department wise. You do it. And you, after concluding these three steps, you go to the representative job for analyzing. You represent a person for it. How you represent it? You give the numbers of jobs, you give the priorities, you segregate, or you when under your assistance or the team leaders are also sometimes utilized or mobilized for the job analysis process in individual ones and the team ones. So you help them, you represent them, and so all the informations are collected by them. Then what you do? A complete data is collected. So you get gathered all the informations and then you segregate them in two parts. One in the description portion, one in the specific one. So the database is created along with that. Then what you do? You restart reviewing the gathered information. Whatever information you have collected, you gather it and you start creating a very defined one, a very precise one that is with the direct observations, questionnaire, past record, and critical incidents. You start use mobilizing all this information by these things, and then you create a job description. If I'm not wrong, whoever is working might have seen a job description and even have signed it. Am I correct? Right, whoever is working, they need to understand the job description. I will show you the sample, what is the job description sample and what is the job specification sample. So after the job descriptions one, there is even chances of developing a job specifications. So process is completely followed, not a single step has been missed by the HR manager or HR team. They follow all these 8 teams and the job has been analyzed. So let's say in another chart what different process, it is much more clear in this one. Sources of data can be a job analyst, employees and supervisors. When that is been done, what it is? Methods of collecting of data is you collect the data with the help of interviews, questionnaires, observations, and records. Then what you do? Job data is collected. So means task, performance, standards, responsibilities, knowledge, skills, experiences, content of the job, duty, and equipment used to fulfill that duty. So you collect the database has been created, then you segregate it in two parts. That is job description, which holds tasks, duties, and responsibilities in a format, and then you come to the job specification, skills requirements, physical demands, knowledge requirements, and abilities needed. And when this is done, an HR manages function of recruitment, selection, training, development, performance appraisal, and compensation management has been fully mobilized and properly utilized in the development of employee, in the development of organization, in the development of industry. So the process is very clear. It will help to have a career planning of an employee, right? If they know with the job analysis process, they know which employee needs to be given training, how to select, what are the requirements of these jobs, whether that person is completely able or calibers, the capability is there or not, capability is there or not, the fulfillment. If not, what they do. There might be the chances of demotion, there might be the chances of suspension, there might be the chances of unrecruitment of that person. So the process totally gets involved within the HR function, because after all, whatever the HR is doing, that's doing for the benefits of organization also. Because organization is just not will not keep the person who is not ready to learn. A learning phase of an employee is always running in every step. One day an employee is learning one thing, another day the employee is learning another thing. So the person, the employee, along with the organization, both are learning every day, and they should be very active in learning. So if you see with this, the process to obtain the facts about the job, right, is analysis. When you go with this description, what you do, you understand the what are the tasks and what are the duties involved in that particular job. And then comes the specification, what is the minimum academic credential requirement, experiences, techniques, and all that comes. And then a person is completely evaluated for that job. Yes, like being an HR, let's see, you are an HR, often you are given to do the recruitment for a new department which is newly enrolled in your organization, and certain criteria are given to you that these has to be fulfilled. Okay, so what do? You collect first, you make yourself knowledgeable about that, you collect the reliable resources with that, and then you start the functions of recruitment and selecting. And you even segregate if a person is too good with the skills and physical requirements, knowledge, task and duties, but it's like a little bit lethargic in the side of responsibility. What do, you understand that yes, this person needs a training and development concept in order to take the responsibilities for the job done, right? So this process is completely fulfilled. Is there any query, anything to ask?
No, ma'am.
Sure. Okay, then can I move to the next slide? Okay. Now, just job analysis is just not a simple task. Okay, it's very vast one. In the vast is the concept of whom, with the newly HR associates. So they is the techniques, how you collect the data, what are the minimal portions of creating a database for your future reference to. So how you collect it. So you, there might be the different ones, and among them there's like observation is also a method of collecting data, like body language and all, looks and all. Looks in the sense of doesn't mean that you need to be very beautiful. Looks means how presentable you are. Then interviews, then questionnaire. Questionnaire type of formats is given, and you are there are a couple or ample of queries are there which you do, right, when you go for things. And with that also they create a database, and the database of earlier, like 2 years back, database is also mobilized in the organization. Anyway, they are creating new database, like recent ones. So methods of data collection can be observations, interview, questionnaire, database, even the date log date recordeds and all that. Some even keep the interviews Videos also are used, audios and videos are also used for that. So when you do the methods and technology, what happens, you do the interviews, then you analyze the queries, like you analyze with the task, you with the inventory's position, and even with the frequently asked questions, and even sometimes subject matter experts and job expert workshops. These days, whenever job analysis is done, it is made sure with every most of the industries that they keep a subject matter expert and job expert workshops. They evaluate the states of mind along with the presence of mind also on that particular job during by creating a workshop. And even like incidents techniques, they give a critical, they throw this random queries over the critical incidents are thrown, and you've been asked, you even the survey is done, then functional job analysis is done. Functional means you are asked to create a PPT. Sometimes, if you are in a very good in the collections of that, you are asked to create a PPT along with that, and or instantly you are given a slide or thing for the 10 minutes review, and you are asked to present it. So that is also how presentable you are, how state your mindly keeping it. And then element method is also done. So all these along with these, there are different techniques, okay, but most of the organizations, they follow 8 techniques, okay. There is so many personal interview is there, questionnaire is there, record method is there, even they just through a group interviews are there, like 4 5 people are taking group wise, so see whether person is nervous or not, how smart he is, how presentable he is, how good he has, like is showing within a diary method. You are even given a topic and you write for the HR. Sometimes these things are done, so your every concept has been calculated, and then you are evaluated and you're suitable for that job. So is this slide like understandable to everyone? Is there any query? Hello friends, is there any query in this? No, Sharon. Okay. Can I move to the next slide? Okay then. So now let's go thoroughly with the job description and job specification. So first, any one of you answer me. Um, like, what do you think is job description mostly holds up? Anything new if you can come up? Sharon, can you respond me with this?
Yeah, the roles and responsibilities of the work.
Yes. Okay. So what is job description? Job description is a written record. Never forget that. It's a written record of the appropriate and authorized contents of a job. In your that description, it's written what are your roles and duties, what education qualification you have, what are skills needed to that for that job, what are organizational goals and how you have to follow it, what is your salary range. So all these have been included in your job description. So it is a factual and organized statement describing the job in terms of its title, location, task, duties, responsibilities, working conditions, hazards, relationships with other job peoples, your actual work area, skills needed, and your salary range. Did you understood how it gets combined with the job description? This one is clear to you know what is job description. So there is a belief in everyone. Mostly people say that we I have not seen what is a job description. I just signed it and I bought it. No, when you see the job description sample, you get an idea, and then if there's a negotiation needed, you do much more negotiation in that. Whenever you are signing any sort of documents with the your job related portion, be sure that you go through thoroughly, because once you are signed, you are bound to it. So when you see in the concept, what is there? Identification. Your employee ID will be there. Your departmental ID will be there, right? And then what other will be there? Like what is your job location? It might be in the in country or out country. You are in a certain location, or you are in the rural areas, or you are the urban areas. All those things, sorry, all those things are written in that job description. And then even it is written, that summary is written, how you're going to do it, what are the working conditions, what are the social environments, like whether you will be given training and development, whether you are provided machines and tools and equipments for that or not, or you are just said to work in that and you have to send along with that. No, marketing team mostly always what they do, they these days it's a techno savvy world, right? So even some of the organization provides the tablets or laptops to the marketing influence, so that on time data, on time information can be restored wherever they are working it. So job description holds all those things. And never get confused with the job description and job analysis. Okay, there are certain slight differences in them. If let's understand first what is the slight difference between job analysis and job description. Pay very clear attention, okay, guys. Like if you see a analysis, what is it? It is formal and detailed study of a job, right? What is description? Job description, it is a statement describing the nature and the content of job. Okay. Then if you go with the purpose, its analysis most purpose is to solve the basic function of HR, whereas in the description guides as a placement orientation to the employees. Nature, what is the nature of job analysis? It's a process, okay? Then what's the job description? It's a statement. And the sequence is very different, okay? Job analysis sequence is carried out before a job description is prepared, okay? And description is prepared after the job analysis is done. So these are the four basic differences between job analysis and job description. Never get confused. For a time being, I'm moving to the next slide to make you understand about job description. You see the components of job description: job identification, job summary, duties and responsibility, relationships, know-how, problem solving, accountability, authority, special circumstances, performance standards, and trade unions associations. These are the more major and minimum components which a job description format or sample or a bond holds upon, right? So you can see these things in that. Now I've shown it to you. You can see at the last, you can see disclaimer implied to the contracts, where an HR manager also signs, and an employee signature of approval. Yes, as a bond you are signing that yes, totally accept the identification which you have given me in the job. I understand the task and responsibilities and duties. I will fulfill all these things which has been written in this description letter, and I will try to fulfill my authority with this complete complete knowledge of accountability. And then when you see the job specification, what that holds: knowledge, skills and abilities, experiences and physical requirements. So you should be very clear, very much precisely you have to go through it, because at the end of the signing of the bond you are uh, kept as a contractor. So when you sign with that, you should be seeing what is a tentative period of, like some of them give 3 months trial basis, some give 6 months trial basis, some are 1 year trial basis. So in a terminology, you can only count your experience when you have worked in a year. Before that, you are on a trial basis to that organization. So you should be very clear while signing a job description or while taking off a job description. So now, what are the, What is specification? Job specification is also a position one, right? So what happens in this? In this, so many things associates. Okay, it's just not the educational qualification, knowledge or skill or personal trait. Personality traits counts in it. Okay, and then experiences. What happens? It's also a record. If you say it's also a written record of the physical, mental, social, psychological, and behavioral characteristics of an employee, which is or which should be possessed in order to perform the job effectively, right? Physical characteristics might include your height, weight, and everything, right? And then when it's come to the mental characteristics, it involves your general intelligence, memory, judgmental aspects, ability to concentrate, and when it comes to the social ones and psychological ones, it comes how emotional stability you create, how flexible you are, what's your personal appearance, how you pleasing with the manner you are you a conversational ability, how you interact, and all that has been included, right? So all when these traits, all these traits may be classified into three categories, but though they are categorized in three attributes, three characteristics, one should be very clear that the task which I am performing have to have that experience, qualification, skills, and knowledge, and the abilities, right? So, guys, you should be very clear between the job description and job specification. There's also a very slight line of difference in this two. So, if you go listen very clearly when you go with the difference, what happens? A description, job description is what? It's a statement which contains of a job, where a content of job is there. Even specification is also a written statement, but with the qualities required to perform a job, right? What comes in the context? In job description, it comes title, duties, working condition. Whereas in specification, it comes with the trainings, education, experiences for a particular job, right? What's the purpose of job description? To identify, define, and describe a job. That you are going to do this job, your salary will be this and this, right? And when it comes to the specification, it comes with the facilitate the recruitment, selection, and etc. for people for the job. When it's to the sequence, prepared before job specification. Job description is prepared before the job specification, and specification is prepared after the job description. In earlier, what you saw, job analysis is done before the job description, and job description is done after the job analysis. Understood? There's very slight difference in it. Is this clear to everyone? Is there anything to ask? Okay, can I go to the next slide? Okay, it seems I can move to the next slide then. This one is already done, right? So I'm going here. How you determine the job requirements. See, nature-wise and basis for. Okay, when you go for the nature-wise, job analysis for what? It's for what employees does, why employees does it, and how employees does it, right? Analysis. So what happens with that? You determine the job requirements. When job analysis is done, you reach to the concept of job description. So that is summary statement of the job, list of essential functions of the job. What are that? Under that, it even comes employees orientation, employees instructions, disciplinary actions. And when the description is done, you go to the third one, that is job specification. That is personal qualification required in terms of skill, education, and experience. Even with that, you are able to, whether you are going to recruit that person or not, or you are not going to recruit, whether you're going to select it or not, what are the basis of the selections, and how you're going to develop that particular employee. So When all these things are done, you in a back of an HR as an NHR, what keeps on running in your mind is like, with the help of job analysis, recruitment is helpful. How to determine the required recruitment qualification, selection, that is to provide job and duties specifications for selection process. Even you are able to do the performance appraisal, provided performance criteria for evaluating employee. You are able to determine and develop instructional programs in order for the training and development. Then compensation management is provide basis for determining employees' rate of pay, right? So with this complete analysis, you slightly go with the differences, right? So earlier, as I discussed about the differences between description and specifications, right? There are basics differences. We have already discussed this, but in this diagram also I showing you. So meaning wise, if you go with the description, organized factual statement of tasks, duties and responsibilities. Specification is also a statement of record, including knowledge, abilities and skills. In a relation, if you see, it belongs to organization, and even one copy is given to employee. Specification belongs to employee. Job description belongs to organization. Why? What sort of job they are providing, right? So what are their demands for their organization? Now specifically what qualities, what skills, what knowledge you hold as an employee. So it relation is, job description relation is with the organization and specification relation is with the employee. When it's come to the context, it comes with the contents of job summary, duties performed, supervising, working condition, tools and equipments. And when it's the specification, it totally holds up with the employee, that is the physical, psychological, personal characteristics. And what are the orientations? Job description statement are job oriented. That's totally to the job. There does not holds anything of your emotional bonding or your skill or your anything. But the specification is employee oriented. So is this clear? Slight differences are clear to everyone. Guys, please revert me back. Am I lacking somewhere or you are not able to understand? Please revert back. Hello. So it means I can move to the next slide.
Clear, clear, ma'am. Yes, move.
Okay. So why job analysis is done? Job analysis is done to for different concepts. How a company is going to pay, what are the employees' payment, salaries, training, development, recruitment, all these conditions are done for the in order to maintain the cycle of job job analysis done. So let's see, I'll enlarge it for you guys to see this a sample of job description. You can see this is the identifications of the job description one. If you go with it, majorly this one is given to the employee, where all the description, job title, responsible to department, directors, your purpose of the job, role of department, organizational position, what you are going to hold, what is the main task and duties and responsibilities you are going to do. So this is also a basically what it is a contract you are signing with the company or the organization that you are going to fulfill the requirements of the company with your knowledge, skill, and ability, right? So, this is it. And when you go with the basic concepts of job specification, if you go with the job specification criteria, under this, it's totally written for your knowledge that you are hold this, you have this ability, so you are able to fulfill what else training and developments you are going to do. Now, as this one is holded up, this one is something which measuretically, oh my god, sorry. Okay, so this is actually a database which mostly like a chart flow, you can say. This is how job analysis inputs are done with the sources of data, right? Even collecting data with different way, then those data are positions, that is, you define the key accountabilities, internal and external factors, communications, machines, knowledge and experiences, and skills and purpose of role for a employee, right? Then what is output? Output is you create a job description and you provide to that particular employee, and then it's this person is selected, evaluated, time to time, appraisal, and everything is done. So your total way of a role analysis is completely based on the assumption that jobs in an organization are relatively static, and that is possible to identify and predict critical jobs relations, right? So what happens? Expectations of superiors, subordinates, colleagues, unions, and other groups keeps on changing. We are know it. We are aware of it. Even the behaviors that required for the job holder tends to change. But we stick as per our process, our descriptionally work, and these specifications. So is this like clear to everyone? So I'm
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
okay. So when you go with the next slide, as earlier it says that I'll make you understand what is role analysis. Right? You should be understanding that role analysis is also a job analysis. It's just like job description is position description, right? We say it in another terminology. What happens? Like if you see the John, that's the role in analysis process and steps. Managers are mostly stick to the prescribed and discriminatory elements. They always are very clear. They are very immediately taking the superiors and tricks, and even they make sure that whatever role is given to their associates, they are ready to fulfill it with the fulfillment of the task. So now let's see the conclusion. What we understood with this concept? We understood that job analysis is a formal and scientific study undertaken to find the detailed content of a job. Means the human ability and qualities are required to perform it successfully. It is not that you are not to the level of that job analysis task and you are analyzing. No, a certain quality is there needed, and then it is useful in organizational design, human resources planning, recruitment, selection, placement, orientation, training and development, for doing appraisal, evaluations, labor relations, health and safety, and even counseling to employees. Sometimes even you can see that in an organization, a employee who enrolled for 2 years was continuously giving better performance, and all of a sudden into 1 2 months is not giving. So you try to find out, you give a counseling to that employee, is there anything which is bothering him or her, whether the pay scale is he is or she is finding low, whether he is trying to change it, or what is there, you do the proper counseling for that, right? And even what you do, that you even see the performance on the job, personal observation you do. So all the techniques of job analysis you fulfill, and you keep on trying to retain the best employee of your company who is performing the job in the tremendous way, right? Then you are able to create a job description. You are able to create the job description means which a proper standard sample for the job description, which holds title, duties, responsibilities, working conditions, social environment, machines and tools, supervisions, right? And along with the concept of signing up long term contracts with you. In a such way, you do the task. Then you even see the job specification. You're able to understand the list of the qualities that are needed to create, right, to perform the job. Even you understood the slight difference between job analysis and job description, and then job description and job specification. I hope I was able to make you clear in all these concepts, right? So when you go with all this, what you understand is it's very easy to say that HR, human resources, but it's very difficult to manage the human resources of your organization because they are the backbone of your company, of any industry or any organization, right? So thank you so much, guys, for paying attention and taking participation along with the patience you guys had to listen the today's sessions. So I hope I was able to make you understand.
Yes, ma'am.
Is there